On November 2nd, 2014, a teenage boy named Alex Lee clocked into a shift at Target in Texas. He was bagging groceries just like any other day, until a stranger took his picture from a checkout line, posted it to Twitter, and accidentally changed his life. The tweet, simply captioned "Yo," showed Alex mid-shift unknowingly on the verge of global attention. By the next morning, hashtag Alex from Target was trending worldwide, and he gained 100,000 followers in a single day. Fans tracked down his store, news outlets called Target's corporate office demanding interviews, and he was flown out to LA for an appearance on Ellen before he even understood what was happening. And at this point, Alex hadn't even made any content before. He wasn't trying to go viral. The entire world had picked him, and he had no idea what to do with it. Rumors started almost immediately. Some claimed the whole thing was a PR stunt orchestrated by Target, while others accused Alex of faking his own fame. Unfortunately though, in the meanwhile, his family received threats, his personal info was leaked online, and through it all, Alex said he felt numb. Like the fame really wasn't his to begin with. He tried to adapt and started a YouTube channel, even signed a manager and did press. But the interest evaporated just as quickly, because Alex hadn't built anything. He was the product. As of today, he's just a normal guy. He's got a job at UPS, he's got shoulder-length hair, and likes to powerlift. 2 years later, a high school hallway would give birth to another viral icon. This time with a catchphrase. Josh Holtz, a regular student in California, began recording daily Snapchats of his friend Daniel Lara, commenting on his outfits in an exaggerated voice. The phrase,
"Damn, Daniel, back at it again with the white van."
We've all said it. Caught fire online. Within days, the boys were national celebrities. Vans sent them free shoes for life, Ellen had them on their show, and a remixed version of the clip hit millions of views. Josh leaned into the spotlight. After all, he was the one who wanted to be the content creator. But Daniel, on the other hand, started to panic. He was being followed at malls, paparazzi showed up outside his house, and girls were sneaking onto campus to get pictures with him. And what Josh never understood is Daniel had never signed up for any of it. He later described the experience as surreal, almost traumatic. It was too much attention, too fast, with no clear path forward. They tried launching a YouTube channel and Josh pushed for comedy content, but the momentum didn't hold. And by the end of the year, they'd largely vanished from the public view. Today, Daniel stays out of the spotlight, and Josh has tried to resurface a few times, but the internet's moved on. In 2015, a Vine account uploaded one of the most quoted lines of the decade.
"Deez Nuts." Got him!
And just like that, a man known as Welvin the Great became one of the most unexpected celebrities on the internet. The original Vine blew up instantly, spawning reaction videos, memes, music remixes, even presidential jokes. Like in 2016, the 3 candidates left at the end were Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton, and Deez Nuts. For a few months, Welvin was everywhere, posing with celebrities, appearing at clubs, and even drawing in massive crowds at the mall. But as the appearances grew, so did concern. Welvin, who has developmental disabilities, was often seen surrounded by people filming him, not protecting him. Rumors about his finances and safety swirled. There were claims that fake managers were booking him for club appearances and keeping the money. He was even seen wandering alone in videos, and at one point, people believed he died. A rumor that trended globally before finally being debunked. Welvin later appeared in a few TikToks. He looked older, quieter, and his cousin confirmed he was alive and being looked after by family. To this day, no one knows if Welvin ever made money from his meme status, and if he did, it wasn't enough to provide long-term stability. In 2018, the internet met Lil Tay, a 9-year-old girl who swore like a SoundCloud rapper and claimed to own more money than your entire family combined. She wasn't a character and she wasn't a parody, or at least that's what we were supposed to believe. Her real name was Claire Hope, and she skyrocketed to fame by flexing luxury cars, wads of cash, and staged mansions. Her catchphrases,
"Already know what's going on, Lil Tay the youngest flexer of the century,"
became instant meme material.
Out of here, boy. Get that weak out of here.
But the content didn't add up. Tay didn't come from wealth. Her mom was a real estate agent in Vancouver. Her brother Jason was later accused of scripting and directing her videos, often off camera. The entire persona was a fabrication, and the world bought it, at least for a little while. As her follower count surged into the millions, brands and influencers lined up to collab. But backlash came just as fast. Almost overnight, everything vanished. Her accounts were wiped. Tay disappeared from the public eye completely. What followed was one of the most chaotic, cryptic missing person sagas in internet history. Her parents entered a legal battle over custody. Tay stopped posting and years passed. Then, in August of 2023, her Instagram account posted an official-looking death announcement, claiming both she and her brother had died suddenly. The internet grieved. Well, for about 48 hours. Until it was revealed she's alive and no one knew who made the post. Tay reemerged with a new look, a new single, and a quiet promise to leave the Lil Tay brand behind. But to this day, the full truth about what happened behind the scenes remains unclear. Now, before TikTok dances, before YouTube reactions, there was Chris Crocker. In 2007, their tearful plea for the world to leave Britney alone became one of the internet's first true viral moments. At the time, Britney Spears was a global punchline. Her infamous 2007 breakdown was feeding tabloids. And Chris, a passionate Spears fan and YouTuber, just couldn't take it anymore. They filmed a raw, unfiltered, and dramatic video in their bedroom, and the world saw it and immediately turned it into a joke.
Leave Britney alone!
They were mocked on late night shows, ridiculed online, and turned into a meme. But what most people didn't realize was that Chris had already been creating for years. They weren't a one-hit wonder, they were just finally being seen, but in the worst possible way. Chris later said that the fame brought no opportunities, just ridicule, and for years they were known only for that one moment. Now, fast forwarding to 2021, when the hashtag Free Britney movement exposed the harsh reality of Spears' conservatorship, suddenly the internet looked back at Chris and said, they were right. The apology came too late, but it came. And in 2021, Chris came out as trans, transitioning into Kara Cunningham. They deleted the original video and stepped away from the viral culture entirely. This time by choice. In February of 2013, a man named Kai saved a stranger's life and became a viral sensation in the same breath. He was a hitchhiker with long hair, a backpack, and a skateboard. And after witnessing a violent attack, he used a hatchet to defend a woman from her assailant. When the local news arrived, Kai gave an interview that became instantly iconic. His delivery was strange, passionate, and totally unscripted, capped with a shout of
smash, smash, smash.
Within hours, the clip went viral. Late night hosts called him a hero. Kai was offered management deals, flown to New York, and lined up for talk shows. But producers quickly realized something wasn't right. Kai couldn't be managed. He refused schedules, ducked appearances, and ranted in interviews. He didn't want to be famous and couldn't handle being famous either. And what began as a heroic moment quickly unraveled into something darker. 3 months later, Kai was arrested for murdering a 73-year-old lawyer in New Jersey. He claimed it was self-defense and that the man had drugged and assaulted him. Prosecutors said otherwise, and in 2019, he was sentenced to 57 years in prison. Netflix released a documentary about his rise and fall in 2023, titled The Hatchet-Wielding Hitchhiker. But by then, the internet had long forgotten the chaotic hero it once adored. In 2010, a news station in Huntsville, Alabama aired what should have been a standard local crime story. A man had broken into a family's apartment and attempted to assault a woman. But then came the interview.
Well, obviously we have a this in Lincoln Park, had your kids, had your wife, and had your husband because they whipping everybody out here.
And just like that, internet history was made, baby. Shortly after, the Gregory brothers found it and auto-tuned it into the Bed Intruder song, which hit the Billboard Hot 100 and racked up over 150 million views on YouTube. And for a while, Dodson embraced the fame. He did interviews, red carpet appearances, and even licensed Halloween costumes based on himself. And that Bed Intruder song made real money, more than $50,000 in royalties, which Dodson used to move his family to a safer neighborhood. But the fame never evolved beyond the meme. In 2013, Dodson converted to the Hebrew Israelite faith, renounced his sexuality, and began living a private life. He later became a father, started a TikTok page, and focused on personal growth, far from the meme that made him famous. Flash forward to May of 2016, when a Texas mother named Kansas Payne sat in her car outside of Kohl's, pulled out a talking Chewbacca mask, and laughed herself into the record books. The video, a simple 4-minute Facebook Live, featured Candace trying on the mask and bursting into contagious laughter every time it growled.
Okay, here we go. Yes! That's not me making that noise, it's the mask!
That's it. That's the whole video. In just a few days, it became the most viewed Facebook Live ever, with over 140 million views. What followed was a whirlwind. Kohl's gave her $2,500 in gift cards, she got flown to Disney World, appeared on James Corden's show, visited Facebook headquarters, and she even had her own custom action figure made by Hasbro, Chewbacca Mom. But after the mask came off, the attention disappeared. Candace released a book, launched a YouTube channel, and tried to pivot into being a motivational speaker. But without the mask, the internet didn't have the same interest. To her credit, Candace has always stayed grounded. She never overreached. In her words, she called it a moment of favor, and then just went back to being a mom. Chewbacca Mom is one of the rare cases where viral fame didn't ruin someone. It just gave them a really weird week. In August of 2015, a parody video filmed in a backyard bathroom somehow became the most quotable meme of the year. The singer? A 21-year-old named Nicholas Frazier. The song was a spoof of Too Close by Next, but with a simple twist.
Why the you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my god, stop lying.
It hit tens of millions of views across Twitter, Vine, and Facebook in days. Everyone from the NFL to Jimmy Fallon referenced it, and Nicholas found himself in the spotlight. As any of us would, he leaned into the moment, launched merch, dropped interviews, even performed the song live a few times. But as with so many viral stars, the follow-up was the hard part. Nicholas released music, including full singles and remixes, but they never reached the same viral success. Now, before influencers, before TikTok, before anyone really knew what going viral meant, there was Tay Zonday. In 2007, Tay uploaded a music video titled Chocolate Rain.
Chocolate rain.
He had this smooth voice with awkward on-camera presence, and of course the thing where every single time he had to breathe, he just turned his head away like that. Yeah. People didn't know what to make of it, so they shared it, and the song blew up. He was invited to late-night talk shows, did commercials for Dr. Pepper and Mozilla, and became one of the first YouTube creators to break into mainstream media. But the follow-up content never really hit the same. Zonday released more songs with decent numbers, but was forever attached to Chocolate Rain. He began doing voice work, built a niche following, and remained active, but just never re-entered the viral spotlight.